Hey, Sunshine. Hey, Sunshine.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to share. Let me share.
Hey, Sunshine. Welcome. I'm so excited about tonight's special edition of Conversations with Celena, and I am your smiling host, Celena Thomas, and we have an awesome night ahead for you. Tonight we have Adam Chiocca, and we are here to support. And to support him, there's Venner Scott and Angela Wynn. So before we jump in, I just wanted to do a quick introduction. We're going to play a video because you all know what time that is. It is time to share. So while the video is playing, it gives you a moment to go ahead and share the video because we want as many people as possible to see this. And it's okay if you missed the live. There's always what? Hashtag replay. And there you go. I knew you were trying to say it. So hang tight and we will be right back. All right. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. Let's see. We have a comment. Who's telling us hello? Hey, Clarissa. Hey, Sunshine. So if you're with us tonight, go ahead and put let's see, what's a good, say, hey, Adam. Since Adam is our special guest, say, hey, Adam in the chat if you're joining us tonight.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Hey, David. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Dave.
All right. So let's see here. I want to just tell you a little bit about our special guest tonight. His name is Adam Chiocca. He is a high school teacher. He is an author, and he is also the founder of the Chiocca Network. He and his wife are the proud parents of 2 teenage boys. Adam is on a great mission to support thousands of Black and brown girls and young women going forth with faith, confidence, and courage. In 2019, Adam wrote and published his first book, 50 Days to a Better Life. We all need to get a copy of that.
Yeah,
50
absolutely.
Days to a Better Life, and enjoyed appearing on TV morning talk shows while on a 3-month nationwide book tour. Isn't that exciting, y'all?
Wow.
I feel like I have a celebrity on Conversations with Celena right now. So now he's inspired by a beautiful dream to build 14 dance studios in 14 major American cities in order to provide low cost, affordable, or free dance classes, plus dance team experiences, competitions for Black and brown girls and boys, because we don't discriminate. And those dance studios will be built in our communities so that everyone will have easy access to them. So his new, very new, can you say new book?
New book.
New book. All right. It is 50 Days to a Better Investment. So welcome, Adam Chiocca. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Woo-hoo!
Drum roll.
Oh, you're so kind. Wow, what a warm welcome. Thank you so much. I love
Yes,
it.
Adam. Listen, I got to show you. Watch. Hey, Adam. Hey, Adam.
Excellent. All
Hey,
right.
Adam. You got some hellos going.
Got some fans.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome.
So, Adam, go ahead and you tell us in your own words a little bit about you and what you have going on.
Right. Sure. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. This is so wonderful. This is, I've been, so far, I feel like I'm one man show. So I've been doing little Instagram live stuff, and it's nothing like this. This is the best thing I've had yet, Celena. Wow.
Whoa, I'll take that. I'll take that. But let me say, it's nothing that you're doing is little. So we're going to remove that word right now because it is grand. It is big. It is awesome. So all the awesome shows that you've had up until this point, hey, this is just the icing on top of on the cake, the cherry on top of the sundae, icing on top of the cake.
Great, thank you. Yes, I have been telling people like the story, which is a good like 10, 12, 14 minutes. I'm like, I haven't gotten good at like a 2-minute pitch or something. I suppose I need to work on that. But,
well, it's okay. You tell it how it comes. You just let the Lord lead you. And if it's 14, 15 minutes, then it's 14, 15 minutes.
Right.
If it's 2, then let it be 2.
Yes.
So we're going to tell it how it comes. So if you need 14 minutes, you got it. I have my coffee. I'm fixing to lean back and relax.
Okay. Excellent. Well, great. I really appreciate having it be like a small group call here, and conversations with Celena and Angela. So good to see you again. We connected recently, and I'm happy to have found you. And Vinner, thank you for being here with your good energy. What's the nickname, by the way? Did you say Vinny?
They call me Vinny, but it's Vinner. Yeah.
Wow, very good. Yes. And so gosh, it's well, I will start by sharing that where this current dream started. And so that was 2015, January. That was just a couple months after Mike Brown fatally shot and killed in Ferguson, Missouri. We all remember Ferguson.
Yeah.
And the aftermath. And I was, really upset about police brutality, police aggression, and racism in America. And I had been upset for quite some time because I mean, this is just 5 years ago. I'm 44 now, so I was age 39, and I've been a student of African American history 25 years. So it was my minor in college, and I started in college to learn about the colonialism period in Africa and the transatlantic slave trade. And I have felt very connected to history, like very connected, and more than the average person. So that has been a powerful part of it, that I've tried to put myself in the shoes of, or think how, if I was right next to, like imagine what it must have been like for an enslaved person. Let's say it's a woman in Georgia in 1724. It is so the violence is so disturbing. And some movies do a good job of portraying the violence and oppression, but it is. I mean, I've tried to actually picture it like if a woman was right next to me, a friend, and it's so awful. You can only think of it for like a minute, and it's like, oh my God, I can't even
imagine. Yeah.
Oh, the murder, lashings, beatings, rape, teeth getting knocked out, families getting ripped apart. It's the story of slavery is so disturbing, and so it's like I don't know how more Americans don't realize that if we're going to move forward, we need to come to terms with reality and what was actually happening here and the actual history. And then I thought also and studied. So it's also powerful. After 1865, we have the KKK, men on horseback with a white hood. So that's basically terrorism.
Yeah.
And it's it explains the Great Migration. I can understand why millions of black people wanted to move north to places like Chicago and Detroit to get out of the South and move west and the oppression and then through the whole 1900s. I mean, Jim Crow South, but even through the civil rights years, I acknowledge that there must be tens of thousands of stories we'll never know, in which like a black man and a white man go for a job promotion. Let's say it's 1955, Atlanta, Coca-Cola, and the white man gets the promotion and the black man does not get the job. And he goes home and he talks to his wife and, he says, I wonder if it's because I'm black and they're sure it is. And it's maybe he tells his wife, but he might not tell his children. And he might not tell his grandchildren. And so that's one of those stories we'll never know.
Wow.
Which is an example of lack of opportunity into employment.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
And there must be tens of thousands of stories, hundreds of thousands of stories of people that did not get into schools, neighborhood schools, public schools, and then colleges, universities. And that is a big, long story of lack of opportunity into education. And it is generational. I mean, it is, it's powerful. I have to also, as a white man, recognize the what has come before me, what my parents and grandparents had. And for example, here I am, a 44-year-old man in the year 2021, and my grandparents on my mother's side both went to college. My grandfather and my grandmother, back in 1936, my grandfather graduated from Dartmouth, which is Ivy League, and my grandmother, a woman, graduated from Skidmore College with a 4-year bachelor's degree back in 1936.
Wow.
To have both of my grandparents have college degrees. It's anyways, so I also think about, how many, there must be hundreds of thousands of stories we'll never know, where it's like, two rich white men on a golf course and they discuss and they're going to give the job to the nephew or to the cousin and not like the black man who deserves it, who has more experience, who's been in the role for 10 years longer, who understands the factory or whatever the job was. And he gets passed over and he does not get the job promotion. And that's generational wealth is what is being disturbed there. So it's racism is so ingrained in American society that it's like, wow. So I was so upset about it. Anyway, so getting back to 2015, after Ferguson, I'm upset. What can I do? I had been saying to God, by the way, since I was a teenage boy, I had been saying, use me, come on, use me. Well, not like that, but real innocent. Maybe not that passionate. When you're 13, you just, I don't know. I felt like I was supposed to do something big, but I didn't know what. And so I would say things like, use me. And anyway, so I turned to God and I asked a really big question, really big. And I said, can I end racism in America? Can I end racism in America? Now, of course, that's probably impossible. For any one person to eradicate racism. It's too big. It's structural. It's systemic. It's multi-layered. It's complex. So, anyways, I realized right from the beginning. I thought I have to, whatever I do, I need to continue to educate and inspire fellow white people to keep challenging your own thinking and questioning your own psychology and peeling back the layers of the onion that is the subconscious. To try to find, do you have any thoughts of prejudice and bias and judgment? And because that's important. I thought, whatever I was going to do, whatever kind of mission it was 5 years ago, I thought, right from the start, I thought, as a white man, I don't want to be like that guy who's just the savior and going, how can I help the black community? That, I thought, no, I have to realize that I have to keep telling white people or if I hear something, I challenge it right away and address things right away. So, but I was looking for something realistic to do, pragmatic. I'm a man of action, and thanks be to God and my wife did. And but I was thinking, what could I really do? And so, at first, it was a school. I do love, there's some inspiring work out there and people that have started schools. And but I don't know. I guess I realized schools are everywhere. They're not good everywhere, but I began to like the idea of enrichment, like after school, and how could I help like support Black and brown moms and dads, or youth, underprivileged kids, young people of color, and connecting to ideas of like poverty and then urban issues like crime, of course, in some major, in big cities, like of course in Chicago, with the crime rates are just it's not good. So so I guess I thought, what about a music center? And at first it was like trumpets and trombones and free music lessons. But it's funny, I was telling Celena how your own life can change your thinking. I was taking my kiddos for piano lessons and guitar lessons for 7 years, and my wife, by the way, is from West Africa, and so our 2 teenage boys are biracial, and
Beautiful kids too, and
yeah.
wife.
But it was like pulling teeth. They didn't want to go to the piano lessons, but I didn't want to let them quit, so I was like the tiger mom, like, you're coming, let's go, you're not quitting, but they love their sports. And so this is an interesting part of the story, I think. If I can share with you that we are half an hour north of Boston in the suburbs. And so when we would do youth, I would coach them in youth soccer, basketball, football, and they'd play sports. And around here, the towns around here, there's, you in soccer or any youth sport, you play the towns right near you. And so it's the suburbs. So we play teams with a lot of little white boys. Okay, fine. No big deal. But around age 10, we started doing AAU basketball. Are you guys familiar with AAU?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes.
AAU baseball. And so we'd go into Boston and for these basketball tournaments. And so I got to see some basketball teams with like 14 Black and brown boys. And I thought, that's fantastic. They had like 3 coaches and it was well organized, and it's enrichment. I realized it's like 2 days a week they practice, and there's a game on the weekends, and they're learning from their coach. It's like character development, helping these boys become men. But anyway, so I saw all these boys teams, and I thought, okay, well, what are the girls doing? Black and brown girls, young women of color. And and I saw the same thing in Pop Warner football. And for anyone listening that might know the Boston area, so I'm up in Methuen on the New Hampshire border. And so sometimes around here it's all suburbs, so we play teams with 45 little white boys. Okay, fine. But once in a while, we'd go down and play Brockton and Randolph. These are 2 diverse communities right near Boston. And the football team, I would see, and I had a friend that coached there, by the way, from high school, and it was so good to see him. But I remember seeing like a football team with 47 Black and brown boys. And again, fantastic. The uniforms looked amazing. They were well organized, like 8 coaches, and it's enrichment because it's, again, like, do your job, and this is the play, and the play, pass the ball, and then you give the ball to Jimmy, and whatever. It's enrichment. But I thought, okay, fine. What are the girls doing? And so I'll share that I was on the board of directors of my local youth basketball association, and we tried to get more girls into our basketball program, and it was really hard, really hard, which was surprising because we have a town of 50,000, and I thought it was just weird that we could only get like 4 basketball teams of 10 girls each at each grade level, and which is only like 40 girls per grade level in a town. We're like actually a city of 50,000. So, well, I started to realize the American culture, like in general, would you agree that most parents of boys still encourage sports, baseball, soccer, football? And would you agree that in general, most parents of girls encourage cheer, gymnastics, and dance?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just part of the American culture. So I guess I realized, I'm like, okay, why fight the culture? I guess I'll work with the culture.
Okay.
And at that time, I started to discover the popularity of hip hop dance on reality TV. That one of the more famous shows with Miss Diana had the dancing dolls. And I know that name's used at different colleges and universities also. But, so I saw some Netflix documentaries. Like Bethune-Cookman was featured. They're down at Daytona Beach, Florida. And, the marching band and the dance team and the cheer squad. And it's a big deal. And so I thought, great, okay, maybe I need to, can I build a dance studio in Boston for Black and brown girls in Boston, young women of color. I know in Boston, our communities of color are Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Hyde Park. And so I did a little research. I went down to the Boston area. I drove all around in the suburbs, and I found like 24 dance studios in the suburbs. And I'd go in, and it's like 100 little white girls, and they're dancing fine. And the parents pay. It's a dance studio. It's in operation, fine. And so I thought, okay, cool. Do we have this for our Black and brown neighborhoods in Boston? And I would drive in. And as you know, on Google Maps, if you put in your phone, like whatever, you Google it and you can just drive to a location, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that and drive to a location of some dance studio in Boston. And this is all before COVID, by the way. 4 or 5 shut down, out of business.
Wow.
I would talk to the neighbor, and they said, "Oh yeah, that dance studio. They were here maybe like 10 years ago. They shut down." And
Wow.
I did find 2, but they were really small. It was nothing like the robust programming I saw on the reality TV. And there was a YMCA, and but they had like a hip hop class, but maybe twice a month. It wasn't like that, like what I saw down south, that were these programs are servicing maybe hundreds of girls, and I saw hundreds of families in the stands, and so for me it was an epiphany. I had like a realization that, oh, this is something like young girls of color want to do. They're excited about it. It's not like taking my boys to the piano lessons when they were dreading it, right? Not wanting to go, and it was like pulling teeth. It was like, oh, this is, something Black and brown girls want to do. They're excited about hip hop dance. And I realized for the parents too, it's cool because hip hop like celebrates the tradition and culture of the African diaspora. Because if you look at hip hop dance, some of the dance moves are African in nature, right? Of course.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I began to imagine, like, okay, can I build a dance studio here in Boston that's like Afrocentric? Like, I don't know much about, but I've heard about Afro-Cuban and Afro-Caribbean and
Right.
But I realized I didn't want to build it like in the downtowns, like of a big city with skyscrapers. I thought it needs to be near our Black and brown neighborhoods, like right there, convenient for the girls and the moms and dads, and because we have ongoing issues of poverty, that I needed it to be low cost, affordable, or free. And
Absolutely.
so this idea started to come together, and but I kept coming up against that wall of cost, because I'm like, see, I didn't want to make money off of Black and brown moms and dads.
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to do it for free, and I'm like, how can I do this? But I realized overhead, and I started reading books on entrepreneurship and how you open up your own business. And Melinda Emerson writes a great book. Hers was probably my favorite, Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months, Melinda Emerson.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she's a woman of color, by the way. And I got her to, I reached out and I got an autographed copy. So I was, but she's brilliant. So she is the, one of the foremost experts on starting your own business. But the conventional wisdom is that you need $100,000 in the bank to cover operating expenses for a year. And I'm like, man, I'm a teacher. What am I going to eat ramen noodles for 10 years? Trying to like, so I realized that it wasn't like youth soccer in my town. When I was coaching and I was on the board of directors, we would get the field permit from the town to do soccer, and parents volunteer to coach. Inexpensive. Same thing with basketball, right? The local schools let you use the gyms in the schools, and parents volunteer to coach, so it's inexpensive. And it's not like a dance studio. I realized is overhead. That's heat in the winter and AC in the summer, and I have to hire 4 or 5 dance instructors, and I need like a lady at the front desk to pay for to say hello to moms and dads as they come in, and running water, and the lights have to be on, and
insurance.
Yes, and again, I really, I wasn't looking to like make a profit. I wasn't looking to make money off of Black moms. That like this was. I thought, it needs to be low cost, affordable, or free. So, so then I started to think, is it a nonprofit? And so, anyways, now I wanted to transition to a totally separate story. Are you still with me, or should I stop for any questions? Can I keep going?
You keep going, because we got plenty of questions for you.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So now I will share that my first book, which Celena mentioned, 50 Days to a Better Life, that was, so age 39, around the time when I was watching Ferguson and upset about racism in America, I was dealing with a drinking problem. So I was a drunk, an alcoholic, needed to get sober. and by the grace of God, I discovered Wayne Dyer. Does anyone heard of Dr. Wayne Dyer?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I credit him with saving my life. Some of his early books were on psychology and understanding your own mind, so that was
Mhm.
important. I needed to grow and change. But then later he wrote about spirituality. So I had a spiritual awakening where I discovered my soul within, my spirit, and
Yeah.
it was powerful. So I got sober, and then um, I will share that it was a weird time because this is the 2018-19 school year, and I had this idea for a book, and I had just gotten sober, and the personal transformation was so wonderful and so powerful that I realized I could help others. And I thought, how can I go after this dream? I had this dance studio idea coming, but it was slow, and so I thought, how can I like make this happen? And so I learned important lessons that like you have to like advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and go after what you truly want. And but anyways, I was not in a good place though, because when you're an alcoholic, it's not pretty. It's like shame and guilt and embarrassing, and my wife's like, do we need a divorce? And you're a drunk, and so it's not a pretty story. Looking back on it, it is what it was. But I almost feel like God or the universe or my soul was giving me this experience that was so powerful, and that it was like kind of like shaking me, like, no, listen, we need you to get sober, because since you were age 13, Adam, you said you use me. You said use me. So we need you to be sober for this. You gotta get sober. So but it was a good 10 years of anxiety and depression right before that midlife crisis, and it was a midlife crisis, but also this personal transformation. But at the same time, and this is something I didn't share with Celena, that I was butting heads with my principal. I'm a school teacher, and I thought I was going to get fired. And he kind of had a track record he had fired 2 or 3 teachers like each year for the previous few years. So I kind of felt like I was going to be fired. And it was like, I was trying to all at the same time think about how can I, go after my dreams, but I felt like I was going to be fired. Plus I was trying to get sober, and I'm in my classroom crying, tears 3 days a week after the students would leave. Like I could hold it together for the school day, but and then I'm in my car and I'm driving home and I'm in tears, crying.
Wow.
The pain, the suffering was so powerful. I was suicidal, so I almost took my own life. And
Wow.
by the grace of God, I discovered Wayne Dyer, and so he saved my life. And it was, I realized at the same time, I thought, how can I take, and I had a tough bunch of kids too. I gotta give some love to any teachers who are listening. I had but I really feel like God or the universe gave me that tough, really tough bunch of students that year to the point where I was, I had the problem with the principal, and I thought I was going to get fired, and my wife said, I'm going to leave you if you don't get sober, and I'm crying in my classroom as I drive home in tears 3 days a week, and so I came through it, and I realized, okay, I needed like a break. And so I had the courage to realize I should take a sabbatical, and I could, put all these ideas down and finish that book I had been thinking about. And so it got approved. So then I got to do a 1-year sabbatical from my teaching job, and I dipped into my retirement to like pay the bills. But so I bought a van, and it was perfect timing. The older teenager was at his boarding school, and then the younger our younger son decided he didn't want to play Pop Warner football. So it was like this perfect alignment of everything in the universe where because I didn't want to burden my wife with, picking up my little guy from football 4 days a week, and I'm not there, and I'm in Los Angeles on some nationwide book tour. I would have felt guilty to make her do extra parenting if I'm trying to go on some book tour, but I wasn't a famous author. It wasn't like a money thing. So it all came together, and it was like perfect timing where, she sort of didn't have extra parenting stuff because he wouldn't have football. He would just come home on the bus every day. Fine. And the other boy was at his boarding school in Virginia. And so it was like perfect timing that I could, do this. So I'm starting the 1-year sabbatical from teaching, and I drove across America, and I appeared on those 5 TV morning talk shows with the book, and so I was trying to orchestrate a book tour because this is what Dr. Wayne Dyer did, by the way, back in 1976 with his first bestseller, Your Erroneous Zones, and he appeared on radio shows, and but it really was all about the dance studio. I kept thinking about how can I build that, and so the dream started to grow and grow, and anyways, I came back, and so I finished the sabbatical, and I didn't want to like have no money coming in because it was unpaid. So then I went and got a few jobs. So I started an overnight job in a grocery store factory warehouse, lifting like melons and lettuce, and it was a crazy time. So anyways, I come back, and then I had some revelations in 2020 during COVID about some changes to the dance studio idea. And I realized, it's so important to go after what you really, really want, or what you're meant to do, or what you feel like you're destined to do. And so I kept having these other ideas. So a separate story was the fact that I was like, oh man, how can I go back to what I was loving? I did in middle school and high school. I did theater, acting, singing, dancing. That was my major in college. Then I went to Broadway, New York City. I was trying to be a Broadway star, singer, dancer, actor. And I did like sketch comedy and improv troupe stuff in like basement bars. And that was 5 years in New York City after college. And then the wife and I got pregnant. So I felt like I had to get a responsible job. So I went and became a school teacher 15 years. But the dream didn't die. And this all connects back to, I remember being 8 years old. And my dad would sometimes let me stay up late, and I'd watch Johnny Carson and Jay Leno and David Letterman and Arsenio Hall. And I would laugh, and it was so magical. And so over the last, 10 years, I had this separate dream, like, how can I manifest this? Like, how can I become Johnny Carson or Carol Burnett and do sketch comedy like the Carol Burnett show? Like Carol Burnett.
Yeah.
And, so if I talk to college kids, I have to say Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Trevor Noah.
Right. Right.
So, and I realized too, like you don't have to be that funny. If you've got 12 comedy writers writing the jokes for you, these guys have 14 comedy writers backstage. So I sing and dance, and so it's all happening. So anyways, I realized one day, like I was trying to think, oh man, if we get two kids off to college, maybe my wife will, move back to New York City with me. I can go to the Broadway dream again and continue that, or can I go to LA and be a funny guy and try to, become Johnny Carson? And so it occurred to me one day during a meditation, like, wait a second, rather than me just go to LA and become a star and make millions, like, wait, I could just build a company around me. Wait a second, yeah, I could just build a media empire. Fine, let's just build the next Netflix, BET, Tyler Perry Studios, Paramount, make millions, but I don't keep it. I let it flow through me, through the company, go to the girls in the form of the dance studio. I'm like, great, then I can pay for the dance studio. And I realized if we can build a media empire that makes millions, then we can build more. And I thought, okay, great. Then I realized we could build them in DC and Baltimore and Philly and Charlotte and Atlanta and Chicago and Detroit and Jackson, Mississippi and Birmingham, Alabama, and Memphis, Tennessee. And so it started to become like the McDonald's of hip hop dance studios. For Black and brown girls, young women of color, again, low cost, affordable, or free. And then I realized, man, if I could build this media empire, we can really do this and make millions. And then let's do more. Can we do college scholarships? So this is in the book also, that college scholarships for the dancers in our program. But again, I was trying to keep it realistic because I was thinking the McDonald's of is like too much, too big. Like, what am I doing? I can't, I have to really do this, really make this happen. So. Again, looking back to that, Ferguson was 2014. I started writing 2015. I was 39, turning 40, just got sober. And I was thinking, man, in 20 years, I'm 60. That feels like, am I going to be an old man? So I've got 20 years. Like, what can I really do? And, so I was counting Philly, DC, Baltimore, Atlanta. And I wasn't happy with 9, 10 dance studios, 11. It didn't feel right. I got to the number 14 and it hit me. Like in an epiphany, like a message from God, where it was like, yes, okay, that's it. I can do that. 14 studios in 14 major American cities. And it's kind of like Paul Newman with the, Paul Newman and his pizza, salad dressing, lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
and on the pizza box it says 100% of profits go to charity. So I realized, great, we could, build this media empire where like it all goes to the girls in the form of the dance studios and college scholarships yeah. So this is it. It's all in the book. I guess I'll stop there and let you guys comment or question. Thank you so much.
No, that was great. That was great.
That
What
was
do you have?
awesome.
That
Was
was.
awesome.
I could say a few more. Well, if I could, I just thought of a few more nuggets. If I could share a few more, or do you want to jump in?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
So I realized also that, the power of Instagram. I thought, man, I could just get this idea out there. I thought if I could, so I have a whole like marketing strategy this year. I realized I started on January 1st, and I'm like DMing Rihanna and J-Lo and Beyonce and Little Kim, and but I realized I'm not going to cut through Rihanna's DMs. She probably gets hundreds every day. So I thought I could make a pivot. So a couple weeks ago, in January, I realized, okay, fine. I could, who would care about this? I could just find amazing bloggers and influencers. And I have found, just like we're talking now, I found, I don't know, maybe I'm up to 24, 25, amazing like women of color and some black men too that are kicking butt on Instagram, and they've got maybe 5,000 followers or 10,000. And I thought if they're willing to go Instagram Live, and I could do Instagram Live with a new friend like each day through the spring and summer, I could tap into their networks. And I thought, someday somebody's going to be watching and say, like, oh my gosh, like my aunt is Patti LaBelle. She would love this.
Wow.
And,
Yeah.
suddenly I'm on the phone with Patti LaBelle. Or somebody watching says, my mom went to high school with Gladys Knight. Like Gladys would love this. And suddenly I'm on the phone with Gladys Knight or her team, And I thought, before you know it, I'm going to be on the phone with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. And they've got some LA producer friends. And they're like, yes, love it. Oh my God. Adam, here's a check for $3 million. Let's get started. Let's do this. Now I want to share with Celena one chapter I didn't mention in our chat before, Celena. And that is, I realized at some point I needed to have courage. I needed to be brave, because as a white man entering the space, I mean, it's not just dance. One of the chapters I read about what's best for black and brown girls. We're considering, so I need to build a team. It's kind of like, because it's hip hop, I as a white man, I don't want to keep it. It's kind of like, how can I build it and then give it away to the community? So, but I know I have to be brave and courageous. And I thought of something really cool. So one of the chapters I'm going to share, Celena, is that I thought about, what if I could have a hypothetical conversation with an angel that used to be in the flesh and bones body of a slave, of an enslaved person in the South, like a woman in 1724, and I named her Beatrice, B. And I thought, what if I could, sit down and talk with her and say, I've got this idea to build these dance studios. Should I do this? And so I imagined that Beatrice would tell me, yes, child. Oh, yes, you have to do this. And, it was kind of like asking, like, for your great-great-granddaughters, should I build these dance studios? And so I imagined a hypothetical conversation with an angel named Beatrice, who might have, been in the flesh and bones body of an enslaved person in Georgia in 1724. And so her great-great-granddaughters are here in America. Should I build these dance studios? And so Beatrice told me, yes. So, with 100% approval, 100% permission. And, so it doesn't matter that I'm a white man. I honestly feel like it's a special mission from God. And so I'm, as you can tell, I'm excited to talk about it. And okay, I'll stop. I'll stop there.
We love your enthusiasm, Adam.
Yeah.
And your bravery, being brave, courageous.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. It's something I say in the book also is that, it's not really about dance. It's actually about like life skills. Like, we're teaching these girls to like listen to your dance instructor, pay attention, follow along, support the girls on your team. We're getting exercise. We're making new friends. These are valuable life skills.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have to tell the girls and the young women to inspire them to get an education. And please, we need you to like think big. We need you to become governors and senators and doctors and lawyers. And we need you to sit on boards of major corporations and
Absolutely.
be the CEO. So I it's anyways, it's kind of like that. I often think of that quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so beautiful, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
It's so beautiful. So I feel so honored and so blessed. I feel like, wow, God must really trust me to give me something so beautiful, so powerful. It's
Mhm.
like, I think if I was irresponsible or not trustworthy, I don't think God would have given me this great mission.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think God is like, all right, I guess this Adam guy, he's a little crazy, but he'll do it. He can do this. He can do it.
God is looking for radical people, and you just fit that,
That mold.
yeah,
You
yeah. And
fit the mold.
that's what
And
he's
yes,
looking for.
and yes, Adam, I must say you crazy. You called it. Uh-huh. But you're crazy in the right kind of way. You're crazy on the right street.
Yeah.
So you keep your vision before you, keep stretching towards that vision every day as you've been doing. Do something every day that feeds into that vision and keep it going, keep it going. And I promise you, it's going to fall on the right eyes, the right ears. Somebody's going to catch a hold to it. And we're going to be saying, well, I remember Adam. Yeah, I know Adam.
I saw him on Conversations with Celena.
Yeah. And then we'll go back and pull the archive video. Like, see,
Yeah,
there we
we're
go
gonna
right
do
there. Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So what made you what was so significant about the number 14 for you? I looked at quite a few of your interviews, and I was fascinated with the fact that God gave you a specific number. And I wanted to know, let the audience know, about that number 14 for you.
Yes. Yes. Well, I will say that, it
Thank
connects.
you for that question. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Good question. I love this. Yeah, great quote. I have it at the beginning of chapter 2.
Okay.
It's by Goethe, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and he wrote, "Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of man."
Mm-hmm.
So in full disclosure, full honesty, I kind of felt like, well, if I just built the one dance studio in Boston, I thought, that's cool, it's really good, but I felt like I needed something that was, I could go bigger, and I needed something that would like inspire others to join me, because I can't do this alone. I'm going to have to build a big team.
Right.
And so even like 5, 6, 7, I still wasn't happy. And also looking at the cities, like I share in the book, somebody might ask, oh, why did you pick these cities? Like I've already listed them, by the way. So in the book, I list them as Boston, New York, Philly, DC, Baltimore, Atlanta, Charlotte, up to Chicago, Detroit, over to LA, back to Houston, Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi. And so I figured someone's going to say, why those 14? Well, honestly, I simply Googled like cities with the largest African-American populations.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Just, and because I don't, because I don't really know Baltimore and Chicago and Detroit.
But I wanted to read to you the meaning of number 14. And because at the beginning you were talking about, the question that you asked yourself, can you end racism, right? And I thought, I was like, when I heard you say that in one of your interviews, you were saying, can I, you was asking the Lord, can I, and I was like, he was asking the Lord a big thing. That's awesome. Not everybody want to ask God to use them to do great things. And so it says the numeral number 14 is a number of expressing personal freedom, including independence and self-determination. And so the number 14 is curious and interested in pretty much everything. Yet the number generally has one or several self-assigned goals. And so it's just not by half,
Right.
that the Lord gave you, the number 14, and gave you the 14, different cities to place it in. um you
Wow.
know that was awesome in itself. And for you to open up yourself like that, and you could be like many others that
Right.
says, that's not my problem, that was something of our forefathers, and we can't change the future, but we cannot go back to undo the things that they've done,
Mm-hmm.
but we can do something moving forward. And I'm just excited. Again, I've ordered my book, and I'm going to be sending it to you so you can autograph it for me. Um,
Yeah,
um,
mine is
yeah.
ready.
Oh
Mine is
yeah. Oh yeah.
ready.
I just like it that you are willing to take on that's a major burden that you're asking God to place on your life. And um, you know, um, I mean, I saw that you were an amazing educator. I read about that, and you're taking, you're seeing as though you're trying to take your education of what God has given to you and give back, and that's amazing. I love it. I
Thank you.
love it that you are wanting to do this. For the black and the brown young ladies. And one of the things too, another thing that I saw that I'm often my biggest issue has always is, why are you taking these things out of the community? It you said something in an article that I read. You want to put the studios in the
In the
community
community.
where the mothers and the
Yes.
fathers would be able to have access, or easy
Yes.
access,
Yes.
Easy
to
Yes.
be
access.
able to
Yeah.
get them. And that's one of the things that we're fighting for, even here, about the parks and
Mhm.
the different things. We're saying keep it in the neighborhood.
Yes.
You want to take the big recreations and put them in these bigger parks with, but you're taking them out of the neighborhood where the kids can't cross the highway to get
Mm-hmm.
to these parks.
Right.
They can't walk themselves to the downtown area to be a part of the dance groups. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm applauding you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because those are things that,
Yes.
these are conversations that I have all the time with people and just not in our community, but in our city altogether. And
Yes.
it's not that we're just trying to help um to help our community. No, we don't want nobody to lose their identity.
Right.
Okay, that's the whole thing. We
Right.
don't want nobody to lose your identity, but we have had a harder time trying to hold fast to our identity because it was stripped away from us. Or
Right.
people feel like
Mhm.
if
Shift.
we learn who we are, then we're gonna take over and all of that stuff. No, let us teach our people, let us teach our children,
Right.
about who they are. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with them. And then I really appreciate you wanting
Yes.
to take out your time. So one of the things I want to know from you, how is it going? Are you making any lead way of putting up your first school?
Thank you. I'll answer that in a second, but I thought of one funny thing about your 14. Getting back to your 14
Okay,
statement, the
okay, okay,
was
okay.
because I was thinking about the um, like how, if I'm building these, how can I not build one in Philly, and how can I not build one in Baltimore, and how can I not build one in Chicago and Detroit? And
Yeah.
it was like some cities like just called for it for sure. But thanks again. Yeah. So I mean, it feels like it's going well. It's interesting. A few minutes ago, you mentioned the word burden.
Mhm.
I mean, I appreciate the perspective because I haven't thought of it like that. I feel like it's such a gift. I feel so blessed.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's because you're a servant. Servants carry the burden of taking care of you.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, we don't want to look at it as a servant of God. Our responsibility is to take care of the house, or we took care, as you know, as a servant. Servants take on all of the responsibilities of the house.
Yeah.
That's a burden. That's that's something that has been given to us, and so we take on these burdens as servants of the Most High God. And everybody don't. Everybody can't work those things, baby. And it seems to me that you have the energy, and thank God that you have the energy after, because you could have said you had your own personal issues, man. You was fighting your own sobriety,
Right.
you were losing your family. I'm listening to you saying how you were crying all at the school and stuff because you're losing everything around me, but yet on your mind, you're still saying, Lord, use me because I want to make a change, a difference. And of course, all of us had some, all of us was burdened down or had some wow moments when, when Mike Brown was murdered and all of the other young kids, was murdered. And so this became an eye-opener for some, but for some of us, we're going like, baby, this been going on long time ago. I'm so glad you all finally get a chance to take a look at it, And so, but in that same token, I'm saying, God, you know what? Thank you. Because now you're getting ready to move some things. Some things are getting ready to turn around, and some doors are getting ready to open. Some doors are getting ready to close, and then we run into Adam. You know what I'm saying? Because we have young people that's right here in Picayune, Mississippi, that want to do the girls. We have a young lady, and I can mention her name, Ambria. Ambria is like the dancing doll lady that do, but she gathers these little girls and they do the little hip hop thing, and she try to put them in the little parades with with the other kids and things like that, and of course she's criticized because she really don't have all that it take to do it. But I can tell you what, that young lady, she gets in there and she still hold up the bloodstained banner, and she still get them little girls in there and they be working it. They be working that thing, but she's motivated to do it with whatever she can, even though she's not getting the full support or don't have the full support or don't have the finances like you're needing. We all know that you're going to need the finances. So eventually, I think she's going to run something across there for the people to know, how they can kind of help you out or whatever. But and so it's needed.
Yes.
You're needed. What you're doing is needed.
It is. Yes, it is.
So,
And Adam has a strong to right off what you said, Vinny. He has a passion. A strong passion. And that's what makes the difference. It's a passion for the young people, a passion for the Black and the brown girls, or whichever way you want to name it. There's a passion there, and when you have a passion for something, you go to no holds barred to make happen whatever needs to happen. And along as also with that, you have two boys. So guess what? Charity starts at home, right? So guess what? You're doing these things, and you're imparting these things, and you're imparting them not just into the world, but you have two at home that you have to start with, and they're paying attention. They are, I like to use the word gleaning. They're gleaning from what Daddy is doing. So guess what? They're going to pick it up. And then they're going to be the two. What are their names? What are the boys' names?
Abraham.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Yeah.
And Aaron.
and Aaron.
Like the brother of Moses, Aaron.
Yeah. And see, we're going to see Abraham and Aaron. We're going to remember Adam and Adam, Abraham. Oh, I know that family.
Yeah.
They started this on this year on this date, and guess what? I was a part of it because we're all a part of this, right?
Adam's name's gonna be in the history books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I want to answer Vinny's question.
Yes.
Earlier, but I made some notes, so I will get to it. But I thought it's cool that Vinny, if I can call you Vinny, is that okay?
You, honey, yes. Thank you so much.
So because she knew I was a teacher, and so I will share something interesting from that it wasn't all recent in wanting to try to right some of the wrongs of history. It's like you touched on this earlier, because we can't can we ever right the wrongs of slavery? Well, no, you can't.
Never.
It's so violent and devastating and disturbing.
You won't do it. Yeah.
But I guess I was asking God, like, what can I do? What can I build?
Yeah.
But my, wanting to support students of color at my high school, I should mention also I've been the faculty advisor to our students' African American Student Association for almost 10 years. So, and we are in a suburb around Boston, so it's not like, it's probably 95% white, our high school.
Mm-hmm.
There's, there are no black and brown teachers. There's no representation. So, so that was important to me to, like, every year when we'd have the new freshman class come in, I would, try to be friendly with students of color and explain who I am. I'm Mr. Chiocca, and I run the African American Student Association. So I'm always reaching out to new students, international students. And so it was really cool. And you can see some of the pictures on Instagram. The kids were really, we got like high numbers. It was a really active club. So, so that was important too. I think that, so as I reached out to Celena and we talked a couple weeks ago, I had similar conversations with a lot of the girls that are now like college age, that were my students like 10 years ago, and now they're like 25. And so that was cool to share this dream and vision with them. I wanted to mention that. And also getting back to the word burden, I understand what you're saying. And I thought, one thing I didn't share is that when I was, the stress and anxiety I mentioned, along with the alcoholism, it was, and the depression, it was a bit, in my first book, I actually acknowledged that it might not have been like clinical depression, that because with alcohol, it acts as a depressant on the brain. And so you can spiral and, and I might've been self-medicating. And so, and I was high functioning alcoholic. So I would still like coach the kids in soccer. And then I would come home, and with dinner, I would have 2 Bloody Marys or 3, and they got stronger over time. And, but that self-medicating, when you keep, putting alcohol in the system, it probably perpetuated the depression. And, but anyways, at that time though, I was on a scale of 1 to 10, I was at stress level 9 or 10 every day.
Wow.
For almost 10 years.
Wow.
And now I'm like at stress level 0.
Yeah. Wow. Because you are walking in the call of your life, of what God wants you to do. When we're struggling most of the time, or when we're fighting against ourselves, or we're fighting against what God actually wants us to do, when we're trying to figure it out, that's when that stress level is like, woo, up there. And we tend to self-medicate and things like that, or whatever. But when we start walking in the call of God, baby, and you're in your lane, you're good to go. But also, when you talked about the teaching, I looked at I think it was a 2016 interview you did in Birmingham, Alabama. You did one that, you did a Good Morning, Birmingham, I think it was, Good Morning, Alabama, or something like that.
That's right. They call it GDA, Good Day, Alabama.
Yeah, the Alabama, and on there, and I wanted to talk about this or bring this up because we are dealing with this right now in this city. What it was is that guys, he was talking about. They brought him on to talk about the e-cigarette
And
and the
vaping.
the vaping that the kids had started doing in middle school and in the high schools or whatever. So we're dealing with that right now here in our city. So I wanted you to kind of, I know you're talking about, I know I done moved it, I done shift the whole conversation to something altogether different. But when you said, about the high school, that kind of came to me, and I didn't want to forget to mention that that they was talking about that. And what is your thoughts on that, the kids doing this vaping and e-cigarettes and what have you now? So
Well, right.
because that's happening right here. We having some issues right now.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, I realized I could, I think when I was looking to get on those TV morning talk shows, they knew I was a high school teacher, and that was the current hot topic in 2019. So they sort of asked if I could also comment on that. And so, yeah, it played in easily with my comments in my book on addiction or alcoholism.
Right. Yeah. I think it does in your life, is in the life book, right?
Yeah. Yes. And it's
in the first book. Yeah.
So the vaping is, that's serious. It's disturbing that it's so many kids are doing it, and we found it hard to control at the high school level, also because it's not like a stinky Camel cigarette from the 1970s. It's they're like perfumey, so they're kind of like strawberry or blueberry, and you don't and it's hard to catch the kids. And, so I was happy to have that sort of as a talking point during the book tour, and I. As you probably know, the kids that are smoking in high school bathrooms, it's not always tobacco.
Right.
So with the e-cigarettes and the vaping, then some of them have it's like a liquid stuff in it and so they're getting high. So we have kids getting stoned in the school bathrooms, in middle schools and high schools across America. It's,
middle school, yes.
Right.
And the thing with the e-cigarette, it's so easy that I guess you just push the button because it's electronic, and that heats up the oil or whatever, so that you can like instantaneously smoke it and then like leave or walk away and not get caught. So it's and we don't have teachers in bathrooms monitoring, so it's really hard to catch the kids. And and I've seen it firsthand where it's like, let me just say, it's that the 14-year-old brain should not be getting high on drugs.
Right.
To be honest. So but I thought I don't know about Celena's time frame, so I thought I'd feel bad if I didn't answer Vinny's question from earlier. She said, "How's it going?" And I thought, I wasn't sure if you got to see. I was happy for the book reveal, like when I got the box of books from the publisher.
I saw that, yeah.
David Meltzer was so nice too.
Yeah.
He's got connections with the celebrity athletes and Warren Moon and Joe Montana and famous celebrity athletes over the years. So that was like my first sort of, good connection there. And then a week and a half ago, Justin Guarini. That was kind of him to
that was cool.
American Idol, the first season.
Yes, Justin. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to probably have a lot of, let's see, a lot of American Idol. We know quite a few of them. So they'll probably be watching this interview as well.
Thank you. And I thought there were so many, amazing women of color that would care about this too. So I thought, how can I build like a dream team inner circle? And I thought about, someone's gonna love this, like Shaka Khan or Tina Turner or Phylicia Rashad or Miss Lauryn Hill or Janelle Monáe or Mariah Carey or Erykah Badu or Missy Elliott.
Come on, guys. Y'all need to tag them. Tag.
Yes.
Hashtag.
Janet Jackson.
And
Mary
I just want to say that sometimes where we think it's going to come from, it's going to blow your mind because it's not even
Right.
going to be where you're expecting it
Mhm.
to be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
maybe, yes.
Yeah.
And
So do you have a roundabout, and I know I'm really getting in there. Do you have a budget of how much it's gonna cost you to do your first school?
right. Now that was another part of your question about, so we're looking at spaces. Oh, so that's a cool thing. In the book, I realized that I had an idea a couple of months ago. So this is right before I sent the book to the publisher in
Mhm.
like late summer of 2020. So September, I had the idea where I thought I need to, where can it be in Boston? Let me just go find the location. Maybe God will show me, or maybe I had that idea. And some of these ideas came during my meditations when I was very quiet and listening to God and stop talking, and I would just listen. And so I started to find some like awesome properties that I thought I had this big vision, and I found some locations in Boston, like right in our Black and brown neighborhoods, where it's some building that looked like it was run down or went out of business, and so maybe we can buy it cheaper or gut it. And so I found 38 locations. So that's in the book, 38 possible locations for the first dance studio.
Okay.
And then the thing about the man, I kind of thought also like, what if J-Lo doesn't show up with a check for $3 million this year? Okay, fine. How can I manifest this anyways? And so I thought about, so in the book also you'll read about, I've been working with my voice teacher, building my repertoire of 25, 30, 40 songs. And so if we could I was singing with a band before COVID and a little bit. And so
I was listening to your voice lessons.
and I can just do this in Boston, like every Friday night. We have a gig, and I tell people from across America to come to Boston and stay in our hotels and go out to our restaurants. Help us recover after COVID. Come see me in my live show. It's all about the book, and I talk about the mission every day, and this is what I'm doing, and like a publicity event. And I thought, I can envision it already as like the first dance studio is also a place where I could do like the early version of my Johnny Carson show. So that might happen too. I'm being open-minded. But I do concede the last chapter of the book, I concede that I don't know everything, and I'm trying to keep an open mind. And so even though I have envisioned it as a business, like I mentioned, the Paul Newman's Own, the pizza, salad dressing, media empire, I thought, because I ran for office in 2017 in my town, local office, city council, I got somewhat politically connected. So I know some state senators and state reps in Boston, Massachusetts, and this area. And so I kind of thought, okay, if the mayor of Boston wants to give me like a piece of land and here's $4 million to build, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to say no to $3 million from the mayor of Boston. So so it might be, the first one might be quasi governmental, like a public youth dance center. And it's not the exact vision I have seen. Like that's fine. I'm not going to say no to $3 million. So, right. And
okay, my city council people, you're on here. I know you're watching. My people in Boston, I know you guys, all of my realtors, Prophet and Janet, all of you guys, y'all listening. I know you're there. So,
thank you. And I should also share that I realized how yes, September, October is when this happened, when I realized, wait, how am I going to, I feel like I have to get this going. Like, how do I build it? But I don't have payroll to pay employees. And so I thought of the idea of interns. And so I, back in October 2020, I reached out to some HBCUs. So I'm happy. Right now, I currently have 9 or 10, I think we're at 10 college interns from 7 different HBCUs. So, like Mississippi Valley State and Alabama State and Fayetteville State. And we meet once a week, and so they're researching for me. Like this week, their little homework is finding performance spaces and places that we can get going in Boston. Because I mean, the first dance studio actually might be also a partnership thing. If I could find some wealthy investors in the Boston area that love the idea and we can partner. I don't need to own the building. Perhaps we'll rent out the space and we can get things rolling. So, so I hope to have good news for you soon.
Okay. Are you already incorporated as a nonprofit organization?
Well, no, I started it as an LLC back in 2019, but but perhaps it's going to be a nonprofit. So yeah, I don't know. I've never run a business before. It's really, but I'm not worried. It feels like a special mission from God. So I can already sort of see it all too. I say that in the book that I feel like it's already built in the universe. I can see the whole thing. It's already built, but but if I sit back and just eat Cheetos and drink beer, it's not going to happen. So every day I'm on purpose, and
you have to see it before it manifests.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that we kind of do. We try to help people with visions like yours and others figure out if this is something that you've been called to do as a nonprofit organization. That's something that we know how to do, and as well as find the necessary grants, funds, because there's so many of them out there that would be able to help you do exactly what I mean, I hear it and I'm going like, okay, they got so many grants out there for what he's talking about doing. I mean, like hands down. So, but yeah, they're there, and they're there.
Wow.
So what do I hear you saying, actually?
that he and I are going to talk a little bit more off of this, and I'll email him some things. Yeah.
Celena, you remember I told you earlier, connection is everything.
Yeah.
Good to be connected.
Yeah. We were connected this morning. That was a list.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Now
I'm excited now, Adam, for real.
Thank you, Vinny.
Something else I didn't share. I feel so blessed. So such an honor to feel like I've been given this gift, this special mission. Do you know I wake up every morning and I'm excited and inspired every day.
Good.
I get on my knees and I say, thank you, God. I really feel like it's going to happen. I'm so excited to.
It will.
It is.
Yeah. It will. Yeah.
It is. I'm super excited. You about to have some help. See, I just said out of my mouth, you never know where that help is going to come from. We think it's going to be one direction, and here it is another. Look at God.
Yes. Now, I will also, if I could share one more thing,
He's so excited. I love your enthusiasm.
No, I get real honest in one chapter about how I will need, I've reached out to help me build this. I've been reaching out to mostly amazing women of color on Instagram, because I thought, who would care about, the welfare of Black and brown girls and young women? And I thought, so I'm not reaching out to Asian women. I love Chinese women, but I'm not reaching out to them for this mission, because I thought, I need to be able to trust certain people to guide me. Because so one of the chapters I write about it is my belief that we cannot have the little girls doing dance moves that are too suggestive or too mature, right?
Spirit fingers, yes.
Hallelujah.
But and I'm not, I don't want to micromanage the dance instructors. I do want to give the dance instructors the freedom to be creative in how they're thinking about the choreography. But for girls and boys too that are 16, 17, 18 years old, well, fine. If you're older, you can do the more mature dance moves, right? But but little girls that are 5, 6, 7, we can't have them doing those dance moves that are too mature or too suggestive. So
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
Yes.
right.
Exactly.
You are on it. You are on
Yes,
it.
we are all in agreement
Absolutely.
with that one.
We're, oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that also connects to the dance wear. We can't have, the clothing has to be appropriate for the age, of course.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
so well, this was so wonderful. Thank you so much for the energy and
Wow.
love.
Yes.
Yes, I'm so thankful for everyone. Adam, first, thank you for coming. We haven't been connected very long, and hey, we had a conversation early that hey, you're gonna do this. We're gonna help you do it too. And so, Angela, thank you for joining. Vinny,
Yes.
thank you
I
for
love
coming.
you.
Look, all your questions. I need to bring my mic over there because you was on it tonight, baby.
Right. On point and on target.
On point and on target, and then gonna be a blessing offline to
Ain't
Adam.
that
That's great.
Yes, that is awesome.
I was just thinking I would love to can I post a picture of us or this like on my Instagram tomorrow, or are you gonna send me something, Celena, or could I do a little picture now with my phone? What do you think?
Yeah, go ahead and take a picture. I've been trying to take a little screenshot of that's what I've been over here doing, but every time somebody looking different. So this will be on this will be on purpose. We can all smile. I wish we had all had a copy of your book so we could hold it up too.
Right.
This is I don't want the phone in the picture. But.
I know Adam. Look, Adam likes the wave or the peace sign. I do know that much.
Right. I can't aim the phone right. It's hard to.
Okay, put the phone down. I'll do it. Everybody just put your book back up, and I'll take it. Hold on, let me move my face from over there by Angela's head. Okay, there we go. All right, let me get the snippet. 1, 2, 3. One more. Let me save that one. Uh-oh. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. All right, so.
All right. Thank you.
Got it?
Oh.
I do have one.
You have one? You got to take another one?
Hold on, let me save it though. I'm working on the computer over here, not his phone. So let's see. Screenshot. Taka.
Lord. What I just do.
Save. Okay, I'll do one more. 1, 2, 3. Adam, you ready?
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Hold on. Got it.
That's
all
great.
Right.
Thank
y'all so much.
So, and I can also share that the whole schedule is in the book. I built the schedule out, which I really feel like was a gift from God. It's kind of genius that I realized, that if we're doing different than from researching dance studios in the Boston area, I learned that they still follow a classic model where the kiddos do like a dance recital at the end of the school year in June, like once a year. And I, similar to what I saw Miss Diana doing with the dancing dolls, I realized, yeah, that's fun. The competitions or showcases, we could do it each season. Like, so it's a really robust programming. So each season, spring, summer, fall, winter, I've named each one like the Summer Showdown and whatever. They have titles, but it's not really about winning. It has to be about supporting Black and brown moms and dads. So like, so the schedule is such that the green team are the majorettes, and they meet Mondays and Wednesdays. So you can imagine a mom cannot bring her daughter Jennifer to the like Monday 7 p.m. class anymore because her job changed. Well, fine, you can easily switch to the Tuesday Thursday team, or you can easily switch to the Friday Saturday team, or you can easily switch to like the weekend afternoon team or the weekend morning team. So that's the real dream. It's 4 or 5 dance teams in one dance studio, and I've built the schedule so that everyone gets 2 practices per week. So it's 1 hour twice a week with your dance team, and this way, then we have sort of a built-in program where we have 4 or 5 dance teams where they can go against each other in competitions or perform together for showcases. And so, it's really has to be about like supporting the parents too, so that if the schedule doesn't work right, we have to switch to Saturday and Sunday mornings. Fine, no big deal. So, and the names of the teams are in there and the colors, and I tried to keep it, equal and fair. Well, anyways, I've talked too much, but thank you.
No, you're not talking too much.
Right.
You do not talk too much at all. And let me say,
Wonderful.
like I told you earlier, when the Holy Spirit say talk, we gonna talk. If it's 30 minutes, see, you didn't come up like we come up probably, Adam. Church lasts all night long. Yeah, you don't go with a time schedule. You just know what time it started, but it was like till it ended, until from 7 o'clock until. So we are respectful of your time and we're thankful for it, but there's never a time limit on Conversations with Celena. People ask me that. Was it 30 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? It just varies, because we want to make sure that everyone gets their questions in. We want to make sure that you shared everything that was on your heart to share, never feeling rushed, never feeling pressure, just feeling love, comfortable to share your story on this platform.
And I'm so glad, and I'm glad I got to share with you, Celena, something I didn't tell you before. The hypothetical conversation with Beatrice, Angel. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. I realized, because I thought that's really sweet too. I'm asking this angel, should I help your great-great-granddaughter?
And the answer is always going to be yes and amen.
Right. Do you think Celena is Beatrice? Adam?
Reincarnated?
Do you think Celena is Beatrice reincarnated?
That's funny. I don't know.
I ain't going there.
It was during my spiritual awakening where I thought, yeah, like who knows, maybe I wanted to think it was real, but I thought, no, I'm not delusional. It's hypothetical. But but
you're just crazy, Adam. You're crazy. I told you that.
I love it.
Good kind of crazy. Good
Right. On the right road.
And who knows the future? Like I of course I felt like I needed to build it to something that I could realistically do in the 20-year time frame. One of the chapters is my exit strategy, like 20 years and I'm out. Like this, I don't want to be there forever. I let's build it. And but I thought, of course there must be other cities with African American populations that could really benefit from this. So it's not like I want, I don't want to stop at 14. I'd love to keep going, but I think it was, I needed to keep it manageable and realistic.
Mm-hmm. And then you can hand it over.
Yes. So, well, this was just wonderful. You guys are the best.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you.
And I was excited about Angela's writing too. Her books. I bought her first book the other day. Was that right? The children's book was book number 1.
Yes.
Fix My Smile.
Book number 1, Fix My Smile.
For you. And
Fix My Smile.
Cute. I got it and
you got it.
Read it and yes. And I bought the ebook. And
yes, I saw that. Fabulous. Thank you.
Awesome. Celena, you got to get to writing your book, babe.
All right then.
Say it again, sister.
Yeah, get to writing the books.
And now before we go, Vilner, can you tell me how you know Celena or how you connected or how the three of you guys have a history?
Yeah, we do have a history. Celena is my uncle's daughter.
Okay, sort of like a cousin.
Sweet.
She's my first cousin, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I see. Right. Cool.
Yeah, she's my first cousin.
Wow.
And I know Angela from this, actually from conversation with Celena,
Yes.
through Celena. Yeah.
Yes. Connections are everything. Connections are everything.
Yes. It's
Miss
time to
Celine,
network in this city.
Yes.
and
And
Guinness
I do.
director.
Yeah, I am. Well, you ready? Look,
Which
are
hat?
you ready?
Look, which hat is it?
No,
Which
which
hat?
hand back here you want me? Okay.
Which hat?
Well, I am a mother of four. All of my kids live in Georgia. I pastored a church in Georgia for. I started a church in Georgia in 2014. I left the church with my son-in-law, my daughter's husband, and they're still pastoring the church now in Conyers, Georgia. They're still in Conyers, Georgia. I I started a child care service, so I was in education as well. Had a child care service for 16 years. Um, gosh, um, and what else, Lord? I am a advocate for the youth, all over, everywhere that I go, whether I'm in Georgia, Louisiana. I was raised up in New Orleans, Louisiana is where I was raised, and moved back here to Picayune, and where I am very active in this community. When you were saying city council, that's um, I decided not to run for a city council seat, instead support someone else to run for the city council seat here. And um, we do a lot of youth programs here. That's why I'm just like, okay, what you're doing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Director of the MLK here in Picayune, um, director of the Picayune Cultural Museum here in Picayune. And so, listening to you talk about the historical of our Black history, that's one of the things that I'm saving here, is the history of our Black community here in Picayune, Mississippi. Um, we have some great people that come from here, that, oh my God, that made history. And so we're trying to keep a lot of that history alive here. Gosh, that I'm gonna stop there because the list can go on and on and on. She'll tell you I'm very active here in this community, very, very, very active. And
That's
so and I'm actually, I have a mentor that's here. She's a grant writer. That's what she do. She's an amazing grant writer. I've never, every grant she's ever written, she's gotten everyone, and she's amazing. And so that's one of the things that I do. I am a licensed notary, and I do documentary preparation for corporations, LLCs, and I worked years for AT&T. So I was a senior administrator. So I got all of my skills and stuff for managing their trillions of dollars of stuff. So yeah, yeah.
great. Thank you for sharing. I think I just Googled that. I think I drove by. Is it Picayune? How do you say it?
Yeah, any way you say it is all right. And bless your heart. It's Picayune. We call it Picayune, Mississippi.
Because on that nationwide book tour, I stopped in New Orleans and then I went northeast. It looks like Route 59 towards Birmingham. That was my next city.
Okay, yeah. You came through Picayune. You passed us up.
You passed us out.
You could have stopped by and said hello. We have one, two. I think we have three exits. So you just went right through all three of them.
Because I looked. I was trying to get booked on a TV morning talk show in like Mobile, and so I thought I was going to go
Mobile,
more
okay.
east.
Okay,
But I
in
did
Mobile.
not go more east. I did not get booked on Mobile, so I had that Birmingham. So it was like Baton Rouge, then New Orleans, and yes, I must have went up 59 towards. But
you did. You went through Jackson. Yeah, well, you didn't have to go all the way in Jackson. You just kind of cut off and went to Birmingham. Yeah.
I can finish with one little, maybe not too funny, but cute story from, I got pulled over by police in Louisiana or Mississippi.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And, I think I was driving, some of those drives were like 7 hours a day trying to get across Texas. And so by the time I got to the South, and I was pretty tired. So I think he said I was, I wasn't staying in my lane perfectly well. And so he asked if I was drinking. And I said, no, I'm sober. So I showed him the book. I'm like, I'm on the book tour. No drink. And then I gave the cop I gave him a copy of the book, and he thanked me, and it was a pleasant interaction. So
good.
That's a good story.
Good.
That's a good story. Absolutely.
So the book tour, you're talking about your first book or this one? Did we miss you all together, or will you be making your rounds again?
I don't think, did you do a book tour with your second book yet? I saw that you did the first book tour, but.
Right. Well, because it's COVID, it's kind of,
Yeah.
So I'm calling, my Instagram post.
Instagram. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm calling it like unconventional book tour.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It's only on social media for now.
Okay. So now you're visiting Picayune, Mississippi on the book tour.
Well, if things look
Baton
better,
Rouge, Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
if things look good in the summer, maybe I could do another book tour. I kept in touch with the nice those TV talk show hosts. So I was good about keeping in touch and texting on Instagram or Facebook. So I feel like I've got a warm welcome if I go back to Baton Rouge or Birmingham.
Where did you go to New Orleans? Which bookstore did you go to in New Orleans?
Well, I learned from a friend who was an author in my school district, and then he had a friend that was similar, an author, and she did some of these book tours, you can work with, like, talk to the manager at the local Barnes and Noble and do a book signing. Like, people come and you have them sign your book and you sign the book. But this friend of a friend, she organized the big thing and put all the effort into it and, had all the balloons or whatever, and nobody showed up.
Oh, wow.
She was there.
Yes.
That was your person right there. She was there.
So I thought, because I was trying to orchestrate that nationwide book tour, and I thought, I don't want to. What am I going to go to some Barnes and Noble in Texas or Oklahoma? Nobody's heard of me, and I'm not a famous author. And so I thought, let me just focus on the TV morning talk shows.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was good. I got on 5 of those TV morning talk shows.
That's good.
And so it was so wonderful, and I was grateful to my wife to, she was cooking dinners for the younger one at home. And so,
you need to, in audience, he has a beautiful chocolate wife. She's so beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. And she's beautiful. She's a beautiful chocolate woman. Yeah. He's not prejudiced, trust me.
The dark chocolate. Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Well, this was wonderful. Thank you all so much. Did you have any last words, Angela, Vinny?
No, I don't.
Good. I'm good. Y'all know I talk a lot. Yeah, I'm good. I'm a pastor preacher, so I talk all the time. So.
You have about them 10. You have 10 closings,
honey. So let me hush.
But it was wonderful. I'm just so excited for you, Adam, and like I stated earlier, I'm excited and grateful for the connection. And I love each and every one of you, and the best is already here.
It's already
we just gonna stay on this boat and take the ride on down the river.
Yes, it is already here.
Yes.
Amen. I love it. Celena, if you post anything later or tomorrow, I thought, I should mention on the back of the book, I thought I should, try to make it like a social media campaign. So I appreciate you using the hashtag 50 days to a investment.
Yes.
And
I had a list of hashtags you had.
oh, good.
I wrote them down. I'm gonna send them to her so she can hashtag all of them because you had I believe in Adam. Well, how do you say your last name?
Chaka.
Chaka. And
Chiocca.
then you it was hashtag I believe in Adam Chaka, hashtag Adam Chaka, hashtag 50 days to a better investment, hashtag 50 days to a better life. And then you had let's see, you had hashtag I believe in Adam, hashtag I believe in Boston. Are you still doing that one?
Yes, because that's the thing about, with the band every Friday night, and I try to get people to visit Boston, come see my live show. I hold the book. I do live.
Gotcha. Okay, and then hashtag in, we'll say Picayune.
Hey, sure.
Yeah, so that's what it says. So I'm gonna send you all these hashtags. I got all the hashtags. I made sure I wrote those down for you.
You are so amazing. Thank you for everything.
Wow.
Yes.
You just,
So I'll get them to you.
I'm telling you, connections.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people in Boston, so I'm gonna be reaching out to them as well.
Oh, bless you. I hope you know how helpful this is for me to be able to, it's been in my head for 5 years. It's only a few weeks now I've been talking about this. So the story's not polished. It's not clean. It was just coming out, and
That's okay. That's okay.
Giving me a
okay.
platform.
You're okay. You're okay. Everything is good. All is well.
You are good.
All
And
is
you
well.
don't have to make any excuses or
All is
anything.
well.
No apologies. It's unapologetic. You say what's on your heart to say, and whoever connects with you, they're going to connect with you.
Exactly.
And if they're like me, they can do their own homework and we do.
Yeah.
and know that you're the truth.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And I've connected with Angela and Celena, of course, but are you on Instagram or Facebook?
Both.
Okay.
No, and it's Benner Scott.
Okay, cool. Should I find you now or Celena?
You can go right ahead. You can find me now. I am on both.
Okay, how do you spell it?
VINNER.
And Scott?
That's me.
Finner Scott.
Awesome.
I think I'm spelling it wrong. Did you say on Instagram, Finner Scott?
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see what my Instagram say.
Well, I see the hashtag.
They got me on Instagram, TikTok, the whole 9 yards. I'm on everything. They told me to get off this stuff. I'm on everything. I watch everybody. Let's see. Do you see it on the Instagram?
I do not.
Let's see. Where am I? Let's see. Well, let me find you. Is it Adam?
Chiocca.
Let's see. Come on.
It's Adam _ correct?
That's right. Adam _ Chiocca.
Gotcha.
So if you're watching, please follow Adam on his Instagram, Adam _ Chiocca.
I got you. You're holding up your book. I got you. I'm following you now. And you can follow back. I got you.
Oh, great. Oh, I see. It's Venny, Scott.
Well, is that what I had? Well, they got it on there, VENNIE, right? On that one.
Yes.
But no, on the rest of them are Venner.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I guess I'll let Celena wrap up. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Any last words, Adam?
Well, let me think about something I could share that I haven't told anybody else.
Definitely follow. That's one thing. Get the book.
Yeah.
That's how we can be of assistance. Purchase the book and follow. So we'll know what we need to do in order to help you get this dance studio up and running.
Yes, thank you.
I just sent you an email.
Awesome.
Great.
That's great. Well, you'll see there's a few other ideas in the book that I did not tell you about. So I guess I'll let those be a surprise.
Okay. Well, I just want to say I appreciate all of your energy. I appreciate just the passion that you have. It's like the things that we encourage each and every person to do. Write their vision down, make it plain. What we encourage you to do, wake up every day intentional. Believe in what it is that your purpose is. Believe in it. And you say in your hashtag, I believe in Adam. And so you just see this
Amen.
vision, you see the vision coming to pass already, even though the funds are not there, the people may not be there, but you already see it as a done deal in 14 different cities. And so that in itself is so encouraging to someone else that's trying to get their dream rolling, that's trying to figure out their purpose. It's like, hey, he doesn't even have anything that he can say, I got the place, I got the building, all I need is this. Everything is still, it's unfolding, but
Yes.
you believe it as though
Yes.
it already is.
Yes.
And so that in
Absolutely.
itself is amazing. That in itself is so encouraging. And your energy, no one should ever leave your presence not feeling like they can do something. I mean,
Right.
we heard and we know that everything, all things are possible. You know, we do
Absolutely.
all things through Christ. We know this, but being connected with someone that's living it out, that knows that years ago, this is their God-given purpose. And even
Yeah.
though it's taken all this time to manifest, you still just as excited about it as probably you were years ago and have
Yeah.
it planned out. I mean, that's a map, a business plan. You know what the colors are. I'm sitting here listening to you. You know
Right.
the schedules, you know the names, you know the colors. You know Beatrice is going to be somewhere cheering you on. The angel, you know, she is right there cheering you on, baby. So I just thank you so much, and I feel blessed to be connected. And another thing, I'm so thankful that I was obedient and asked my cousin to come because now you're connected to her.
Yes.
She
Yes.
is amazing. You need somebody to research. You think those interns,
Wonderful.
them interns ain't got nothing on her and her
Ain't
research
nothing.
skills like PI, you know, and she's connected to a grant writer, you know, and it's just going to be an amazing relationship. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you,
Yes.
ladies, for being on Conversations with Celena.
Yes.
If you're watching this as the replay, please share and continue to include the hashtags that we put on there so that the right people can see this video and make this vision come to pass.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
thank you all so much.
Yes.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen. It's
Yes,
great.
yes, yes. It was a great episode. I love it. And we will be back on, you know, I'll be back in the morning at 5 o'clock. If the Lord say the same, I'll be here 5 o'clock in the morning saying, rise and shine. Hey, sunshine. That'll be me, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then on Saturday, Conversations with Celena, 8 o'clock, it will be Miss Tracy Powell. And I'm excited to have her. You don't want to miss her testimony. Yes, you don't want to miss her. And be back here 8 o'clock sharp. We will go live at 8. So don't be late because she is great.
Oh, Adam, my son is a commercial realtor in Atlanta. Yo, I was telling about Brian, commercial realtor in Atlanta.
Oh, wait, what happened? Did he put a... Oh, he had to throw us on mute real quick. that was his best kept secret right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did y'all see him put the church finger up though?
I'll be right back. Oh gosh. As soon as he comes back, we'll say keep it smiling, sunshine, because 5 o'clock.
And my laptop is about to die on me.
Oh girl, my unplugged. Oh.
Woo, woo. This was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Okay. All right.
Adam
I'm
is so
super,
Absolutely.
I'm
excited.
super excited. Yeah.
Yes, there he is.
Well, I'm a man with a vision, but I'm also a father of teenagers, so it's not easy.
We know, we understand. But
Uh,
did you hear that great news, Adam?
No, I was dealing with the teenagers.
Okay, you're gonna have to give him the secret again.
My son he's one of the top commercial realtors in Georgia, and he represent a lot of the celebrities there with their properties. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I like it. I like it.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I
All
love
right.
it. I love it.
You know, just to see it
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
unfolding and to be able to be a part of it, because I am still just so humbled by this entire experience. And
Yes.
so often people are telling me that this is their first. This is my
Mhm.
first live interview. This is my first interview since I wrote my book. This is my first time telling jokes online. And so it is such a blessing to me, for me, to be so many people's first, or to be that. That didn't sound right.
Leave that on the doorstep.
Woo, Lord, that's funny. But you know, and just to be that person, the platform that
Mhm.
says, "Hey, you get connected," and then you come back, Adam, and just tell your testimony. This is how we
Absolutely.
met. This is how we got connected, and one thing led to another, and then bam, from city to city. And you're gonna have us. You might well go and get a big old bus
Right.
and be on it, going from city to city, or I don't know, a private jet. Well, we can't put Vinny on the jet, but okay, we gotta get a bus for her and a jet.
You already know I got to drive. I got to drive.
Get a bus for her and a jet for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Thank you, Tracy. We'll see you Saturday, baby girl. All right, y'all. Well, Adam, thank you. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, ladies. And we will see you later. And keep it smiling, sunshine. Mwah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mwah.